Hi everyone, and welcome to this GraceNote. Today I want to speak to you about urgency. Okay, so for those of you that feel like everything is urgent right now, oh my God, I better hurry up or for those of you that are just feeling that pressure of time, maybe you're creating something and there's not enough time in your eyes, or maybe you have bills to pay and life has become very urgent. Maybe you live in the city and you work a 9-to-5 job and perhaps you just live in a constant state of urgency. You know, you just live in that fast-paced world. So here's what I want to share today in this GraceNote. You know, I've gone from living a very fast-paced life in London and experiencing a lot of urgency and working in a job where everything was needed yesterday, not today. And then as I began my own business journey and started working as my own sort of boss, if you like, I also noticed that that same repeat experience of urgency also showed up in my new life and my new business. And I got curious about that. I got curious as to, you know, why do things become urgent? Why do we leave things to the last minute when we know we've got lots of time to do things? And this is particularly for those of you that leave things to the last minute, because I think there can be a lot of beating ourselves up when we kind of end up in a rushed state. And here's what I want you to know, that any urgency you feel, whether it's urgency to make a decision, urgency to implement something now, urgency to already be further ahead, urgency to already, you know, already be somewhere else. Any of that type of urgency is always a mask for insecurity. Now, there is a helpful urgency in this world. That's an urgency that gets us engaged, gets us moving, gives us momentum. And when we leverage from that, we have a completely different experience with time. But most of the people I speak with are leveraging from insecurity and wondering why they're exhausted or burning out or hating their business life. Because this very subtle mask for insecurity is constantly telling you in the back of your mind or somewhere in your day that there's not enough time. You need to be further ahead. You need to already have established yourself. You need. Now, I'm not going to spiritualize time here, but what I am going to share with you is that we can be incredibly efficient when we're not trying to work with a gun to our head. And urgency to me, when it's coming from insecurity, is a gun to your head. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when you're trying to pull something off and you have this kind of gun to your head 24/7, you're probably not as efficient. So here's the solution. I want you to start noticing where your urgency is really coming from. I want you to start seeing when you're lost in it. Because I can promise you that just seeing when you're getting caught up in urgency is like switching on a light in a dark room. It literally transforms the experience you're having. The problem is, most people don't know that they're living in an urgent state. Most people don't realize that they're winding themselves up with a lot of insecurity and therefore falling into a very urgent rush state. The moment they start to see what they're doing, noticing where they're operating from, a big chunk of that pressure will start to diminish and fall away, because it is like switching on a light in a dark room. Once the light's on, you can see clearly, and naturally it's easier to navigate. For those of you that feel like, yeah, but Grace, you don't understand, I've got bills to pay at this particular time and I've got 24 hours before. It doesn't matter what your situation is, okay? Urgency is not helpful, and we create the experience of urgency through our insecure thinking. We have a choice in seeing what we're doing to ourselves and letting that quieten down. And then from that place operating, solutions come to us, ideas come to us, opportunities come to us from that quieter, less urgent state. So it's not to take away from your deadlines. It's not to just, I'm not saying that those aren't real for us, but it's just to say that your relationship to urgency can really shift and change. And actually, as you see that for what it is, you will begin to operate and be efficient and meet your deadlines, but without all of the stress and the panic and the crisis and the chaos in advance. So I don't know what you're hearing in this one, but I would love to have your comments below. I would love to engage this conversation around urgency a bit further. If there's something you've heard, please let me know. If you'd like to explore this a bit further with me, please feel free to email grace@citygirlconfidence.com. And just know where you're operating from. Just begin to get a feel for whether or not you're lost in urgency, and know who you really are. Without constantly falling for that urgency, you'll just be getting your stuff done. You'll be productive, you'll be efficient, you'll meet the deadline without the gun to your head. So look forward to knowing what this brings up for you. And in the meantime, I will be back with another Grace Note very, very soon. And I wish you a wonderful day. Ciao.